Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. And today is almost the end of October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I decided that I would hop on and talk to you a little bit about my journey as a breast cancer survivor. Some of you might be wondering, why did I wait till the end of the month to do this video? And the truth is, for those of us who are survivors and thrivers and family members who have kind of been there through this journey and have lost people to this disease, Breast Cancer Awareness Month is really far beyond just a single month. So I wanted to kind of do this as we transition into the holiday season, because it really is, breast cancer awareness should not just be 1 month. It is a huge epidemic, and I figured answer some of the frequently asked questions that I get. So without further ado, if you want to learn more about my journey as a survivor and thriver, stay tuned.
Checks like I wanna sing. My wrist, stop watching. My neck is frozen. Make big deposits. My glass is dropping. You like my hair? She thinks she's got it. I see it. I like it. I want it. I got it. Yeah, I want it. I got it. I want it. I got it. I want it. I got it. I want it. I got it.
So the next thing I wanted to do was answer some of the most frequently asked questions. People ask me questions all the time about tons of things. So I figured I would go ahead and answer them on YouTube so that you guys can have access to how I answer some of these questions that people so often ask me. So, one of the questions that people ask a lot is, how can I help? Somebody was recently diagnosed in my life. What do I do? How can I help? What? And my advice is to ask that person. There's really no cookie cutter way to say, this is what you need to do. Go over there right now, you pull them out of the bed, and you take them shopping. If it's me, then please, yes, by all means. But some people need time to process. They might need space. They might be in a state of depression or sadness or loneliness, and they may need you to do something so simple as, help washing dishes or taking their kids to school or picking them up from practice. Ask what they want you to do. What kind of support can I provide to you? Is there anything that I can do? You can even offer them, list those couple of things that I said. I had a friend that came and washed my dishes. I had family that stayed and cooked me food. So many different things. And there's a lot of things, that you might need somebody to go to the grocery store, just wash some clothes for you or things like that. So not every action has to be super profound. You don't have to go over and spew everything that you got off of WebMD to them, because that might be too much. So what can I do to help? Ask them what they need and tell them that whatever it is, even if it changes, for them to just kind of keep you posted, and ask if it's okay if you check on them. Sometimes people want to be left alone, to be with their thoughts, to be with their feelings. You can pray with and for them, but do not force your opinions on them. Which brings me to my next thing, what not to say. I got a lot of, they're just breasts, they don't make you a woman. It's just hair, it will grow back. While those things might be true and obvious, they are painfully insensitive and ignorant to say. Don't say those kinds of things. It truly is hurtful for somebody to say, something like that, because this is what I imagine they're doing. Oh, honey, as if they're kind of belittling what you're going through. And most people don't mean it in that way. They really, truly don't know what to say. And so they're thinking that they're being positive by giving you kind of that reinforcement to say, hey, it's going to be okay. Don't say that. Mm-mm. And while a lot of these things are facts, like it might be okay, people need to understand that it's okay to not feel okay. That even people who are strong like myself are entitled to have a weak moment, are entitled to have a down moment. So don't say things like, well, we all have our thing that we go through. We all have our own cross to bear. We all, those things are very, very insensitive. My advice, kind of going back to how can you help, would be listen. Listen more than you talk. Please, for the love of God. What not to say would also have to be, don't come with a bunch of remedies and mushrooms and teas and things like that, because that can be overwhelming. And all of a sudden, when you're diagnosed, everybody becomes PhD, doctor of cancerology, which is called oncology actually. But everybody has their opinions of what you should be doing, how you should be handling it. Should you do holistic medicine? Should you do chemo? You know this and you know that, and studies show. Don't. When people want your advice, they will ask you. When people want your insight and your input and your expertise, people will ask you. Don't force it on. Don't force it. Another question that I often get is, what are some of the warning signs? Or how can you prevent it? Those kinds of things. There's no proven way that we can prevent breast cancer, because there's no proven way that the causes of it. Eat right, reduce your stress, be active. Those are kind of general rules of thumb for just being healthy in life in general, and they definitely apply to breast cancer. Also, knowing your body is an extremely important tool. You have to know your body. You gotta know. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Touch yourself in the shower, do self-breast exams. And if you're doing a self-breast exam and it is not uncomfortable, then you are not doing it right. Give yourself a nice amount of pressure that you are pushing and rubbing on the entire breast, up and down, left to right. And making sure that our breasts are naturally fatty anyway. We're going to have lumpy tissue in there. But is something extremely hard? Does it move? Does it change? Is it very sensitive around that time of the month? Just keeping abreast of a breast is very important. Just knowing what it looks like, what does it feel like, and keeping track of those things. It's important. My fireplace just like popped open and it freaked me out. It's almost Halloween, so devil's not welcome here. Don't play. Last but not least, people always ask me, how is it still affecting you, or does it still affect you? And the answer is absolutely a resounding yes. I had never worn a weave or a wig before breast cancer. And after losing my hair and the kind of the cocktails of medicine that I had to undergo, definitely changed not just the texture of my hair, but its ability to grow in certain places. So my hair is actually in real life this long, but up here is very thin. The crown of my head, I always joke that I kind of look like Smeagol from Lord of the Rings. So I've got like 3 wisps of hair up here. So it has affected me in that way. It affects me because I had some lymph nodes removed from my right arm, and my arm will swell, and my lymph fluid has trouble regulating itself. So that creates a lot of pain in my arm, especially if I move things too much or I carry something that's too heavy. What else? I'm still very tired a lot. And that's not something that people normally tell you as far as side effects of radiation and chemotherapy, that chronic fatigue is kind of a long-term side effect. Now, every case is different. Every person is different, so your response might be different from mine, but it still affects me on a pretty regular and daily basis. In addition to the fact that I kind of look like a patchwork quilt because of all the surgeries that I've had. So that's probably one of the biggest ways that it affects me. In a more positive sense, it affects me every day because I appreciate not sweating the small stuff, loving life, loving people in my life a little bit more authentically, and just kind of trying to live each day to the fullest, and to show people the importance of doing that for themselves as well. So there's tons of things that continue to affect me because of breast cancer, but not all of them are negative. I've gotten an opportunity to talk to literally tens of thousands of people with some of the work that my nonprofit has done and events, and hopefully now reaching millions with my story. If you guys have more questions, please feel free to leave those in the comments below to talk to you. And I do have pretty significant wealth of knowledge when it comes to breast cancer, because of the research that I've done and the patient advocacy that I have done as well. So if you have questions, need an ear, want some insight, I am not a medical professional, but I do know a little bit about this one subject. So please feel free to leave those comments and questions in the comment section below. If you have not already subscribed, make sure you do that, because I'm going to be talking a lot more about a lot more things, and hopefully giving you some insight, some inspiration, and some encouragement for your just day-to-day life. So make sure you like this video and hit the bell so that you can be notified when I upload more stuff. Is that all? End of our story time? I guess so. Breast cancer awareness is every single month for those of us who live it every single day. So be informed, be educated, be encouraged, and until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye.
I want checks like I write what I sing. My wrist, stop watching. My neck is fuzzy. Make big deposits. My glass